on the hunt. Investigators aggressively searching for the suspects responsible for 2 assaults overnight. Plus, higher rates on your next power bill. We've got the answer straight ahead. And later, the big return of Goombay Summer Festival, a smashing success. Our Jean Joseph has the highlights. Stay tuned as Our News Weekend starts now. This is Our News Weekend. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Megan Shepard. A 9-year-old girl is among 2 victims of sexual assault under investigation tonight. Police tell us the child was playing with friends outside her home in southwest New Providence around 6 o'clock last evening when a man driving a white Nissan Skyline beckoned to her to get inside. Police say the child complied and was taken to an unknown location where she was threatened and sexually assaulted. They say the victim was found a short time later in an area not far from her home. And in the second incident, around 3 o'clock this morning, police say a 40-year-old woman was sexually assaulted at her Golden Isles Road residence by a man she knew after a night out. Investigators are appealing to anyone with information to contact 911, 919, or Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS. Bahamas Power and Light is looking into a tariff study that will result in a change in rates for the power company. BPL CEO Siobhan Cambridge says the tariff study will provide BPL with the financial company to become a better utility company and to make investments necessary to drive down the cost to consumers. He says the power giant hasn't had a rate increase since 2010.
And we are presently working to release an RFP for a tariff study that will help us to restructure our rates to allow BPL to meet its current financial obligations, as well as to ensure that our revenue is sufficient to meet the country's future needs. Once the tariff study is completed, we will be working along with our stakeholders on a strategy for rate adjustments across all classes. This will be a major undertaking, but inevitably it will reap the benefits for a leaner, greener utility, where efficiencies drive down the cost of energy, and at the same time create the energy security we need as a small country.
Cambridge says the rate increase will impact customers' base rate. The full comprehensive study will take 6 to 12 months. But as the CEO explains, the plan is for consumers to see a decrease in their power bills.
Your bill is a combination of 2 things. It's your base rate and your fuel charge. So basically, in order to get more efficient engines, you have to invest capital. And that capital cost is normally recovered through your base rate. So we envision there being an increase in the base rate as a result of the things that we have in our CapEx and our plans for expansion and efficiency enhancement. But at the same time, those investments are going to allow us to drive the fuel costs down. And we envision the fuel costs going down sufficiently to offset the increase in the base rate, as well as to provide you some discounting. So the net impact to the consumer is planned to be less.
Well, crawfish season is upon us, and fishermen are getting ready to set sail as they look forward to a profitable season. Our Joshua Williams went to Potters Key Dock, where they were making final preparations.
August 1 marks the start of a new month, but for fishermen, it's the beginning of new opportunities. With crawfish season opening in a few days, fishermen at the Potters Key Dock are making final preparations. We spoke to Captain Hilton Kelly, who says fishermen are excited to get back on the water.
We was full with a lot of snappers this summer, so that was keeping us going. Because after the crawfish season, there's nothing else to do, but we was full with snappers until day before yesterday, so now we be getting everything. Last final adjustment, gas, fuel, grocery, making sure you freeze everything, working in a tip-top shape.
With a rise in temperatures globally, the oceans have become hotter. This, however, does not concern Captain Kelly.
With the warm water, the crawfish, we expecting big things because crawfish like the warm water, so in that case, we should have a good bit of crawfish out there.
Kelly sharing that fishermen could be on the sea for up to 3 weeks at a time. This, he says, is necessary to make a profit.
They're looking at the crawfish price probably go down, but gas still going up. So really hard on the fishermen. Then all the prices just raise on the fishermen for their registration, for their boat register, everything raised like 200-300%. So it's really difficult.
For this lover of crawfish, she hopes those prices remain low.
I just hope they bring the prices down, though, a little bit, you know. So I am excited. I used to sell crawfish $9 a pound, and that's years ago, right? But man, they need it's. I believe it's too expensive. But I'm sorry, we still buy it.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
Thanks so much, Josh. An aggressive mangrove restoration mission happening over on Grand Bahama, led by the Bahamas National Trust. Our Jamila Mizik was there and joined the effort, getting down and dirty. Take a look.
It was 2 days of mangrove restoration when our news joined the Bahamas National Trust in Grand Bahama this week. Our mission? To plant red mangroves in areas severely impacted by deadly and destructive Hurricane Dorian. But first, volunteers headed west to Paradise Cove to collect seeds of red mangroves, also known as propagules. Executive Director of the Perry Institute for Marine Science, Craig Dahlgren.
Out here in the western part of Grand Bahama, it wasn't as damaged by the storm, so we still have healthy mangrove stands here. And over the past year, we've been out here a couple times and saw that this is a very productive area.
And after a quick briefing on exactly what to do, it was time to get picking.
We were just in Abaco last week, and we planted 7,700 mangroves. And we're hoping to do at least that many, probably more, here in Grand Bahama over the next few days.
After collecting, sorting, and counting all the propagules, the real work began. A 30-minute boat ride to a remote area in East Grand Bahama is where the team hoped to plant 4,000 red mangrove propagules.
The likelihood of this key recovering by itself is very unlikely, so we're out here to give nature a helping hand, essentially.
So, exactly why is this mangrove restoration effort critical?
You know, mangroves play a huge role in helping to combat climate change. Mangroves absorb a lot of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. So, you know, by keeping these mangroves healthy, we're not only supporting the economy, not only supporting native livelihoods and, you know, our well-being through food, but also hoping these areas stay healthy to continue to support climate action.
And with that, it was now time to get planting.
This is how we can tell where the roots of the propagule will come out. So these already fall off the tree, so we know these are ready to be planted. The natural process is that they would grow to a certain size to get mature, and then they're bottom heavy. So what happened is they'll drop like that, and they'll go just in the ground like that.
Before returning to the mainland, we stopped by an area where a team of volunteers planted propagules 1 year ago. And as you can see, those little mangroves are now in bloom. Planting around 8,000 propagules this trip may seem like a whole lot, but San says there's still much more work to be done to restore the mangrove population. Here's how you can get involved.
But you can always, donate towards any of these organizations, and your funding will go directly towards mangrove restoration in the Bahamas. For more information on some of these initiatives and projects, you can visit the BNT's website, bnt.bs/mangrove conservation, and you can learn all about these initiatives that we're undertaking.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Jamila Mizik.
Good job, Jamila. Can't wait to see your plant in a year's time. And for more details on that story and for all of today's top stories, visit ournews.bs. And remember, you can share your favorite stories right from the Our News Bahamas Facebook page. Still to come on Our News Weekend, the country mourns the loss of a veteran educator, author, and historian. The Prime Minister remembers his legacy. Plus, after a 10-year hiatus, Goombay returns to downtown. Our Jean Joseph has a recap when Our News Weekend returns.
Doctors Hospital's reimagined primary care. We've invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. Your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new, modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnosis and true personalized treatment begin. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshos.com.
Welcome back. Last night, we witnessed the return of Goombay back to Bay Street, hundreds turning up for the cultural festival, and our Jean Joseph will tell you all about it. But now to some somber news. Educator and advocate Eris Monker has died. Prime Minister Philip Davis, in a statement, calling Monker one of Cat Island's greatest sons and a dear friend. The statement notes his life was devoted to education, and his legacy in this field is unparalleled. It continued from his early days as a teacher to his role as principal district superintendent, and later as a college lecturer, Munker's passion for education shone brightly. He was also a gifted author, respected historian, and one of the founding members of the Teachers Cooperative Credit Union. In 2019, the Media Center in Knowles was renamed to the Aris Munker Resource Center and Library. The statement concludes, "Today, we mourn a giant among men, a great Bahamian, and a proud son of Cat Island. My thoughts and prayers are with his family and all who mourn his passing." Embracing digital innovation and efficiency within the public sector. That is the aim of the Ministry of Finance's two-day mandatory training and professional development workshop. Public service employees gathering at the National Training Agency to learn more about the Oracle ERP Fusion system. We caught up with Financial Secretary Simon Wilson, who explains the importance of the training.
Our payroll accounts for 60% of the government's budget. All right. And if we have an error rate of 10%, that's roughly $120 million. That's why it's important. Those small errors, overpayments or underpayments and so forth, if you minimize those errors, you can have tremendous savings for the government.
Hundreds turned out for this year's return of the much-anticipated Goombay Festival, showcasing the country's rich heritage through art, authentic Bahamian cuisine, dance, and live music. Jean Joseph has all the sights and sounds.
We're here in Boston Square for the Goombay Summer Festival, and many residents are excited about the event's return to downtown Nassau.
Over the years, Goombay Summer Festival spread throughout the islands, showcasing the country's rich heritage through art, authentic Bahamian cuisine, dance, and live music. In recent years, the capital's festival has taken place at Arawak, but this year saw the return of the festival to downtown Nassau. Winston "Winky" Burns operates Winky's Bar on Carmichael Road, but he says he did not want to be left out of this year's festival.
You're having a beautiful time. People are enjoying the festival. And welcome back Goombay to Nassau, downtown Bay Street.
Attendees had other food and drink options like Alberta Stirrups Days Gone By, specializing in coconut treats with a down-home flair. While the event helps entrepreneurs secure finances in these trying times, Stirrup says bringing back memories of days past was an even greater reward.
You know what I enjoy more than making money? The fact that I was able to take some person's minds down memory lane. The fascination of parents bringing their children over and sharing a little bit of their childhood with our booth, it's priceless. I like money, you can't pay me for that. So I'm looking forward to the next time.
Bahamian recording artist Drew 242 got his first taste of the Goombay Festival and says the experience blew him away as he soaked in the sights, sounds, and aromas wafting through the air.
Well, I haven't tried any foodies yet, but I've been smelling it, so I will in a sec, But the drinks is always good. The vibe is good. It's a good crowd, very family-oriented. Enjoying myself.
First-time visitor Sherry Casito from Temecula, California says the hospitality made her trip memorable and the festival was a plus.
So far, I'm having a great time, enjoying the food, the culture, the music. It's wonderful. I love the people. Everyone's very nice and friendly, very welcoming.
Another first-time visitor, New Jersey resident Juvie James, says it was a lifelong dream to visit the Bahamas.
Good drinks. I did have some good food. She has some good food, good drink. I mean, loving it, liking the culture, liking the vibes. I plan on coming back again.
Colors Entertainment provided the perfect drumbeat to end the night as they rushed off Bay Street. Week 1 is done, but you have 2 more chances to enjoy the tastes, sights, and sounds, and relive the old Goombay Festival on Friday the 4th and 11th of August. Reporting for Our News, I'm Jean Joseph.
Definitely looks exciting. Thanks, Jean. And when Our News comes back from the break, the Golden Gates Cultural Enrichment Summer Camp comes to a close. Plus, bringing families back to God. Find out the goal of a local movement to help make it happen when Our News Weekend returns.
If new, Heineken Silver was a riveting Viking saga.
Bastards, Wells. Your family tortured my first wife and stole my second favorite goat. Now you want to marry my daughter. Okay.
All the taste, no bitter endings. Smooth, fresh, Sylvan.
Golden Gate's MP Pia Glover Roll giving youngsters of the community an avenue to learn new aspects of Bahamian culture in a 2-week summer camp. As Berthany McDermott tells us in this report, the youngsters danced and even got busy with their hands.
The youngsters of Golden Gate spent the last 2 weeks at a cultural enrichment and empowerment summer camp where students were able to learn straw work, junkanoo, and learn how to make soap and lotions. We spoke to some of the campers who shared their highlights. Take this 11-year-old who highlighted the food.
Food was good. I can't lie. It was good. Yum, 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 yum. So the food was very good. I had a lot of fun. We had junkanoo, we danced. I just had a lot of fun, and that is my opinion.
What was the best part of it?
Junkanoo.
But she is not alone. Others shared the highlights of the camp for them.
It's fun and learnable. I learned how to sew. Never know how to sew. It's good.
My favorite part was junkanoo.
My favorite part was making body scrub and soaps.
I didn't know how to make body scrub, lotion, and other stuff, soaps we made, and I didn't know how to rush, and I didn't know how to sew, but now that I hear the summer camp today, I learned everything.
Kumbi from Caribbean Sweat Fitness was also on board for the summer camp.
Dance is a way to build self-confidence and to just allow them to tap into their creativity and discover talents that they didn't even know they had.
Golden Gate's member Parliament Pia Glover Roll says the response from the camp has been amazing, as many are asking for the camp to be extended. She says the intent is for the children to learn something different.
When I first developed this camp, I thought that academics is what they're engrossed in for the whole school year. So I wanted them to have an opportunity to learn, but not necessarily math, English, and all of the other subjects that they have at school. I wanted them to learn about their culture. I want to give them an opportunity to learn crafts so that they can be empowered and even grow their own businesses as young people. So that was the focus around the development of the camp. And most importantly, the camp is focused towards them being active and outdoors.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
Definitely looked like a good time. Well, family is the focus of the Marriage Children Family Alliance movement. Celebrating its 3rd annual National Family Week, the group's goal is to bring families back to church. They say it's something that is needed as the country struggles with many social ills. The group's chairman, Cheryl Joaquin Alexander, says now is the time for families to return to God.
Ensuring that our families know the importance or remember the importance, be reminded of the importance of their spiritual security and their connection with God. And so we're inviting all churches, those that celebrate on Saturdays, those that celebrate on Sundays, and even those who just need to connect with God on another day. And we're suggesting Monday for this week, to get back to God.
The use of technology, specifically social media, is something the group is aiming to utilize. Bahamas Strong Families Forever Director Patrice Hannah-Carey shares how you at home can get involved.
Whatever platform individuals love, we want you to get together, get your family. If your family is you and your kid and your dog, if your family is you and your wife, regardless of whatever structure that you call family, that is family to you, we want you to begin to post videos of that, and we want you to hashtag #MyFamilyIsLit. And lit, of course, means loving intentionally and truthfully, okay? And then, so we want you to post it. We want you to put the hashtag with lit. We want you also to put the hashtag Strong Families Forever, okay? It's very important. We're all about promoting the family.
And still to come, from the big screen to clear skies, one of the Our News beauties takes on the role of cover girl. Her story is coming up when Our News Weekend returns.
Doctors Hospital is reimagined primary care. We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. Your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new, modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnosis and true personalized treatment begin. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshos.com.
Thanks for sticking with us. The next quarterly issue of the Bahamas Air In-Flight magazine will be a source of real pride for the team here at Our News. Our Jerome Sawyer tells us why.
Audiences know her for great nightly reporting here on Our News. But when the fall issue of Bahamas Air's In-Flight magazine Up and Away lands, our own Marlena Leonard will be one of two cover models. The historic and foliage-rich Clifton Heritage is the backdrop for this edition's cover.
We've never had anyone on the cover. We've had, scenes and different kind of covers that we decided. And our last issue was the 10th issue that we produced, which is the 50th Independence issue. And this issue now is the fashion, food, and fun issue. So we wanted to put fashion, beauty, and just the beautiful women and beautiful surroundings that we do have.
Marlena is one of two Bahamian beauties appearing front and center.
It was nerve-wracking but exciting. I mean, this is the first time that I've ever done something that was like a beauty shot or anything like that. So I was really nervous going into it, but Robin was amazing at, kind of getting rid of the nerves. And so it was just a really fun atmosphere. And I leaned into the fun. Going in, I said, I'm just ready to have fun today with the shoot.
Local photographer Robin Damianis is an experienced international magazine and model photographer and former model herself. She was tasked with capturing the winning shot.
I think it comes with a lot of planning and preparation and thinking about what you want to tell with the images, what kind of story you want to tell. And for me, it really is about capturing the beauty and the backgrounds in the Bahamas and combining that with the models and the talent and everything.
Marlena is sharing the spotlight with local model Daniela Beecham, thrilled at a chance for a cover shot.
I am grateful for the opportunity, so thank you guys for the opportunity for allowing me to appear on the magazine.
We know what it's like to work with Marlena because we work with her every day. What was it like for you working with her?
It was a great experience. She's a very bubbly personality, so that was really great. She looked like she should be modeling, actually.
And who knows, we may have another Vogue cover model yet on our hands. Reporting for Our News, I'm Jerome Sawyer.
Awesome report and a special congratulations to our very own Marlena Leonard. Now it's time for a check on your weather forecast for the week ahead. Hard work pays off, and for 150 top achievers of the Golden Gates constituency, they were rewarded for earning top marks in the last school year. Area Member of Parliament Pierre Glover-Roll says the annual Golden Gates Report Card Reward Day is meant to help promote the importance of a good education.
The rewards are bicycles, and this year we've also added scooters. And you have to qualify by having a 2.5 grade point average or higher. The goal is to encourage them to do better, to aspire to be greater. And I have some students who showed up this year who did not make the grade last year, but this year they came back, they got their reward because they made the grade.
These top achievers say they are grateful for their rewards and are happy to be recognized for their hard work.
But last year at GPA, I made 3.6. I feel like I could have done better, but I did good. I really enjoyed last school year, and this year I hope it's a better one so I can meet all my friends, new friends, and make new memories.
The school year was a really good school year, and I feel like I did really well despite the hard tests and the hard work that we had to put in this school year. and I feel very happy to be rewarded.
And then what's your GPA?
My GPA was 3.70. That was principal's list.
Last year, it was a good year for me. I just had to keep my grades up and just do my best. My GPA was a 3.93, and I feel like, once again, hard work and being rewarded for it, it feels good.
I was just studying. When I come home, study, then work out. Study, then work out, just repeat. That's it.
And as they prepare to transition into their next respective grade levels, they all say they will continue to aim for excellence. And thank you so much for joining us for our News Weekend. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepherd. Have a wonderful week ahead.